Hello, I'm Philip Stoughton from My Home to Yours. Welcome to EMS at C-Level. I am joined by Andreas Müller, who is the CEO of J.A.M.E.S. Let's start with the easy question. What does J.A.M.E.S stand for?
J.A.M.E.S stands for Jetted Additively Manufactured Electronic Sources.
Before we dig into your background and J.A.M.E.S specifically, let's explain what additive manufactured electronics is and how it differs perhaps to what people think of the mainstream additive manufacturing industry. Give me a little bit of an indication as to what the industry is all about and what the opportunities are that exist within the additive manufactured electronics industry.
Yeah, sure. But actually the possibility with AME, or we call it AME, is quite huge, because we can do with our technology, using different processes, using different printers, we are able to actually reprint the old-fashioned PCBs. So with the newest technology, with different inks, when we are kind of comparing or kind of talking about inkjet process here, we are just able to just reprint 3D structures, electrified structures actually in the end.
And what kind of applications are they currently being used for?
So currently we are still kind of in this research phase, which means we are really trying out where this technology is heading towards, what are the next applications actually where we can have can use the full potential of this technology. But actually it's all about new form factors, because the old-fashioned PCB, it's 2D, it's also, of course, it's limiting, yes. And with new form factors, we can, for example, build up completely new applications, new products with this idea actually.
Yeah. And I guess the other attraction is you're able to do that at a very, very small scale. So the ability to not just have a different three-dimensional form factor for a PCB, you can actually have something that's very small and intricate in terms of its detail.
Yeah, absolutely, of course. Okay. And also when you're thinking about 3D wiring, for example, when you're really going in a three-dimensional or in the ZX, then you have a completely new potential, also then long-term with integrated components. I think the overall industry will change a lot with this new ideas and with this new possibilities then in the end, actually.
Yeah. And what's really interesting is it's a new technology. There's lots of engineers exploring it, and it seems natural that they need somewhere to congregate, some kind of community, and that's where J.A.M.E.S comes together. Give me a brief background on yourself, Andreas, where you came from and how you came into this community, and what the structure of J.A.M.E.S is.
Yeah, sure. Actually, I'm not a technical expert. I'm actually studying international management and marketing, so I'm kind of trying on focusing on new business models, and also this whole digital business model concept. And I had some experience with also founding a company or a startup, which was, well, we were trying to focus on predictive analytics in the end. Also with the idea of educating people and making the access to software algorithm a little bit more easier, with a kind of a one-stop solution for mid-sized companies. So that was the original idea, and there I gained a lot of experience actually in building up startups, and also saw the huge difficulties you have as a young entrepreneur actually in the end. I joined Hensoldt then, because unfortunately the startup didn't work out in the end as we expected. And started as a project manager in the Hensoldt Venture universe. So Hensoldt Venture is kind of one of our shareholders. And they gave me the project of trying to build up, not actually trying to really kind of build up a new business model around 3D printing of electronics, and of course combining a huge German defense company with an Israeli company. Build up this joint venture then in the end. So I think the job was done quite good, and I was asked to actually lead this company then, hopefully to a success also in the future.
Okay, and tell me what the remit of J.A.M.E.S is. What's the objective? Obviously, education is a big part of it, and dissemination of information, but it's kind of a space where engineers, entrepreneurs, innovators in the space can share ideas.
Yeah, exactly. I think for me, it's very important to build up kind of a crowd development and also just to share knowledge. There are a lot of different companies and institutes already out there who are, of course, researching this technology, producing, manufacturing, for example, printer heads and so on. So everything you need kind of to be able to produce or to actually design AMEs in the end as well. But as we know, kind of researching behind closed doors is sometimes, well, of course, it is important to have this to not kind of give away your competitive advantage. But to really accelerate this technology, it's for me very much more important to share your knowledge and also kind of sharing designs and sharing kind of the overall status quo of this technology then. So this is kind of the overall vision we have in J.A.M.E.S. So kind of becoming at the point of contact for additively manufactured electronics or 3D printing in total actually. Where, well, of course, students, but also professors, PhD, the engineers, the industry, process owners, and so on. Everybody can really share the current knowledge, can share how their, for example, printer works, where the materials are right now, what are the big challenges. And this is the most important part, actually sharing designs. Because this is kind of the next step that we have to go to realize how many different applications there are already. What is the status quo from a quality level, more or less. And also getting, and this is also very important for us, getting software companies also more and more interested in this technology.
Yeah, and you know, it's one of those burgeoning technologies that the more you can get communities together, the faster it'll move and the more it'll benefit everybody. It's about the machines, the processes, the materials, the software. There are so many different areas to it. The objective is to bring them all together. And you already have some partners within the organization. I think Fraunhofer are one of them. Tell me a bit about the partnership program and the kind of expectation or hope that what those partners will deliver.
Sure. So long term, of course, we want to have the big industrial companies on board, for example, Airbus, Continental, Philips, and so on. But to achieve those and to actually approach those big companies, we first of all have to get all those, we call it process owners, actually on this platform. So for example, we are starting with Now Dimension, but we want to have Optomec, Anscript, Atmotech, and so on. So all those companies right now having a stake in this technology or in this industry, we want to have them actually on the platform, and also kind of with a big vision to merging technologies then in the end. So with our partner program, we want to achieve, or actually what we kind of giving them is that they, so those process owners, for example, in the beginning, can expose themselves to really show to an engineering community where are their products right now, what are they doing exactly, what different applications they're having right now, and so on. And we want to give this to them, just a real big partner web page. Long term, J.A.M.E.S has also an engineering team, experts in inkjet actually. And we want to have those first merging or educational project with those different process owners to, like I said, merging technologies, finding new applications and finding really new ways to accelerate this technology. And this is everything kind of together in the partnerships we are having right now. Yeah.
So it's everything from a simple sandbox where they can bring all the parts together and try and create something, right up to something that can be kind of an enterprise scale opportunity for an automotive tier 1 supplier or something like that to actually disrupt the market they're in, and done in a agnostic way. So any material supplier, any machine supplier can take part. I think that's, for me, that's kind of the essential part of it, that it feels neutral and open, so everybody can come on board. Your first electronica is coming up. It's actually in your hometown. You're headquartered in Munich, so you're going to be exhibiting at electronica this year. What can we look forward to if we come and visit you on the booth?
Well, actually, we have a few different things which we really want to show. First of all, we launched our platform in the end of June this year. So of course you can see what we were working on all this year. and also where the platform is currently standing with all the features and designs we already uploaded there. Then we have this big kind of activity with Assemtech, so the company from Switzerland who is focusing on pick and place in combination with Nano Dimension and us actually. And we have those small J.A.M.E.S coins, which means kind of it's more or less it's not a 2D, but it's kind of a very flat structure, and we want to live assembly them on the electronica actually, to just show that A.M.E. is also possible. It's already possible to do this already with the machines, for example, from Assemtech. The next thing is we have this drone frame. This was an old project actually we had, and I think it's all over the news. And we created and we designed a new drone frame, which we actually want to show. It's a bit smaller, it's a little more advanced, and also kind of we want to show kind of what you can do with additively manufactured electronics there. So more or less those three parts you can see.
Yeah. Yeah. And if people come along, they can meet yourself, they can meet the CTO, you can show them the platform, and they can sign up there and then.
Absolutely. So actually for us, the biggest goal is really to get in contact with as many companies as possible. And of course, when you're interested, please come by to our booth, and we'll have a nice chat about the technology, and of course, how working together might accelerate the technology even faster. So this kind of technology.
Yeah, and I think that's the exciting thing. I think it's just coming by and saying, hey, you know, this is what we're doing with traditional technology. Where does A.M.E. fit into this? Where can we actually improve our processes, improve our products? Where can we actually gain some benefits from the technology, and just having people that you can talk to that about. And that's kind of the start of the conversations that you want to see occurring on the community, and you know, the sharing and uploading of designs to see that happen, I guess, as we go forward.
Absolutely. And so that's why also my CTO and my engineering team is on the electronica as well, because they really have the big deep dive technology knowledge, and you can have those different conversations. Of course, you can talk to me as well, kind of how to collaborate and what the vision of J.A.M.E.S is, but really speaking to the technology, what are the next steps and so on. The engineering team will happily speak to you as well, of course.
Yeah. And I think this open collaboration is, as I say, it's the key to getting these new burgeoning technologies into the mainstream and getting people talking about them and thinking about applications. And that's where things take off from. So I think that's important. It'll be exciting to see you at your first show. We'll be at Electronica, so I look forward to meeting you face to face there and coming by the booth and seeing the coins being assembled live on the trade show floor. So that'll be exciting. In the meantime, Andreas, thanks so much for your time. Thanks for talking to me, and we'll chat again at the show. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you.